It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful day for a neighbor. Won't you be mine? Could you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? Alright, let's get this on so we can get it over with, because it might take a little longer if we keep messing around too much. Try not to do this too much too. Alright, we're going to do something a little bit off, what we might consider normal, but then again, we really don't do a lot of normal around here, do we? No. We're going to take a look at something that we've been messing around with in our head and stuff for quite some time now. A scenario that's, well, we think it's kind of interesting to look at. So, in order to do that, though, I should get more appropriately attired. No copyright infringement there. We're going to need to put this down again. I don't know how I picked it up. This is what I need to pick up. This is a copy. This is actually a 1982 version. Here, look. Let me put this up here for you. It's not even on the right page. Or are we? Oh, yeah, we are. Alright. This is a 1983 special reprint edition of George Lucas's Star Wars from the Adventures of Luke Skywalker. Dun, 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 dun. Sir George Lucas wrote this book to be a supplement to the original film Star Wars A New Hope when it was to release in May of 1977. Mr. Vane was almost getting to be 2 years old by that time. So it was like 1 year, several months, almost there. Okay, that's not important right now. What is important is this book. This book and that movie. What does this got to do with anything? Okay, we're going to do an analysis about a situation that happens with the attack on the Death Star. Okay, since the film has come out, 1977, there have been multiple films, books, TV series, animated series, this, that, and the other thing, explaining the lore, telling you what happened, what this happened, explaining why the rebels did this, why was there a major weakness in the Death Star, all this stuff, right? Rogue One explained all that, and things like that. There's books that said that there was actually another attack on the Death Star before the Battle of Yavin attack, the one that everybody knows from Star Wars A New Hope. Okay, you know what? What we're going to do here, this is what I'm going to do. Based on the only two sources of information at the time of the original release of Star Wars A New Hope, 1977. Only two sources of information. The film and this book. This book actually came out in December 1976. So it came out pre the film. So that, fans, people could get a taste for it. Try to get some buzz, some hype, whatever, about the movie coming out. George Lucas, he had already been successful with American Graffiti, most notably, and he's going to be releasing this, Of course, it'll be a phenomenal hit, and etc., etc. Anyway, what I would like to do is analyze a situation that happens in Star Wars A New Hope in regard to the attack on the Death Star. The Rebels' attack on the Death Star, okay? This analysis is based on only the information provided by the film, the original film, no special edition crap, okay, and or information provided by this book. Okay, there's information in this book that differs from what it ends up being in the film. for one reason or other. So if that's the case, we'll go with what the film says, because it's a final product, so to speak. Like, for example, Red Squadron in the film is Blue Squadron in the book. Gold Squadron in the film, which are the Y-Wings, is Red Squadron in the book. Plus, in the book, there's also a Green Squadron and a Yellow Squadron. There's only 2 squadrons in the film, red and gold, right? Red are the X-Wings, gold's the Y-Wings. Okay. Alright. What this is about is the general strategy when attacking the Death Star. Okay? The bottom line goal for the Rebels is to get to the exhaust port, launch a couple proton torpedoes down the shaft, chain reaction, boom, Death Star blows up. That's the goal, okay? But there's got to be a strategy for disguising that fact, okay? The Rebels can't just go in and start striking at the exhaust port, because that'll just alert the Empire right away, even though they figure it out later, but it'll alert the Empire right away of what the Rebels are trying to do. So what they end up doing, as described more specifically in this book, is that the main force, the diversion force, is going to attack the equator. Okay? I'll show you this here. Go like this. We're in this little passage right here. Okay? While that'll be Red Squadron, actually Green Squadron, Yellow Squadron in the book. But anyway, Blue Squadron. Blue Squadron in the book, Red Squadron in the film. That's the X-Wings. They're going to attack the equator. Okay? The exhaust port, as explained here, right, is in the northern section of the Death Stars. Further north, as explained right here. Look. Okay? See? Alright. Gold Squadron, Red Squadron in the book, Gold Squadron in film, the Y-Wings, are going to sneak off from the main group. Darth Vader makes a note of this later on, but anyway, Gold Squadron is going to sneak off and go after the exhaust port, while the main diversionary force is attacking along the equator. Okay? Now, what is this going to look like to the Imperials? How can the Rebels take advantage of certain things? And perhaps even help to facilitate this perception by the Imperials. Okay, we know that the equator is where most of the primary hangar bays are. Okay? That's where the Millennium Falcon gets taken into, etc., whatnot. And that's where they come out of. The main hangars are in the equator area. Okay? So, the main group is attacking the hangars, right? Okay. Now, when the Rebels attack, it says right here, the Imperials are completely thrown off. It says right here. They're not expecting a snub fighter attack. They're expecting a massive fleet defense around the 4th moon of Yavin, protecting the base. That's not what they get. The Imperials are shocked that snub fighters are coming in for an attack. Now, where are the Rebels attacking? They're attacking around the ports of entry, the hangars. Now, let's think about what's happened prior to these moments for the Imperials. An insurgent team led by a former Jedi Knight, that's the fact that they know, penetrated the Death Star, extracted Princess Leia, and bounced. The Imperials do not know that this was kind of a bumbling, accidental thing. Okay? They don't know that for sure, at all. As far as they know, it was elite combat infiltration team that went in, got Princess Leia, got out. They know that the Rebels have the plans for the Death Star. So they could be thinking, well, they had plans for the Death Star, so that's probably how they figured out how to get in, locate the princess, and get her out. Now, the Rebels are attacking the hangars with snub fighters. The Rebels have already infiltrated and extracted the princess. What are they trying to do now? Are they perhaps going to infiltrate and sabotage the Death Star? Cause a demolition? Cause some sort of destruction? Destroy it from the inside out? That is a very logical and reasonable assessment of the situation. Remember, this is based on only what's coming out of the movie and the book. Only what's none of this extra. Well, this book says this, and this happened. No. That stuff doesn't exist in this assessment. Okay. This is only the film and the book. Okay. That stuff we know for sure has happened. So we can assume certain things because these things have happened. Now, the Imperials don't initially send out a fighter squadron to defend the base. What are they doing inside? They're moving stormtroopers around. You look they show inside, stormtroopers are running around. Why would they be needing to run stormtroopers around if they think the attack's on the surface somehow? They think an insurgency's coming in. You move stormtroopers around to cover and reinforce the hangars. They're expecting an insurgency. Maybe they think that the snub fighters are there just to get down to the defenses around the hangars, and then insurgency team comes in. They don't realize what's going on with the exhaust port till much later in the battle. They finally do end up, of course, sending out a TIE fighter defense squadron. As well, Vader kind of notices eventually too. Several ships have broken off from the main group. Cover me. Vader's already seen it. He doesn't know what they're up to. But he's going, wait a minute. Well, this main force is here, but what are these guys doing up here? Vader figures something out first, because, well, he's Vader. He notices this. And of course, eventually, later on, even the rest of the Imperial officers, we've analyzed their attacks, and there is a danger. Shall I have your ship standing by? Evacuate in a moment of triumph? I think you overestimate their chances. Tarkin is scared crapless, though. Yeah, he says that thing to his, subordinate. But you can see in his face, he's like, maybe they have figured something out. I mean, even earlier, he tells Vader, are you sure that, only beacon's aboard, Vader? I'm taking an awful risk. Of course, he says it more dramatically. I mean, yeah, think about that. Okay, maybe you see the rebels led us to them pretty freaking easily. They just took off and they let us. Now they know where we are, and they could be. This could have been a setup. It could be a trap. But Tarkin's too proudful. He's not going to admit this. Evacuate in a moment of triumph. Of course, no more Tarkin. But that's pretty much it. The strategy that the rebels could be implying, or at least, the very least, the Imperials are perceiving, is an insurgency to destroy the Death Star from the inside out. This is a theory of a reasonable, I'd say, scenario of what's going on, had nothing else been, changed further down the line. I just always wanted to share that little idea. Like I said, based on only the facts of Star Wars, the film, on this book. Alright, that's it. We're done here, because this is already enough, I think. Let's go out with little tunses. How about that? I would go with the smoke, but let's just do this. Let's try this one. Oh, no. Oh shit, I broke it. Oh, screw it. Let's hit this one more time, then we'll be out. How about that, huh? I am the Spectre Skeleton Trance for InVain Site. Don't be a minion, and may the Force be with you always.